Exciting news, Farcasters! Our premier sponsor, Snickerdoodle, recently released their State of Farcaster 2024 report, and it's all about you. Ever wonder how your voice shapes this platform? They dive deep into the data to showcase how our crypto-native user base can drive innovation and product development. Want to see how you fit in? Check out snickerdoodle.com and download the full report. Remember, your engagement here isn't just social, it's shaping the future of decentralized media. Let's keep building this space together with Snickerdoodle. GM Farcaster. It is Monday. What date is this? December 9th. And you are here with Downers Prophet Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. And we're both rocking the hats, which means we're both having bad hair days. Just a little hint to you. Just tweeting this out that we are live now. So if you're watching on Twitter, thank you. We appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you as well. Thank you both for being here today. And we are rocking our cast out backgrounds. We're going to talk about that towards the end of the show and talk about what the hack cast out is and all of those fun things. So, but we've got some other news to tackle first. And let's start with what I was doing this weekend, which is I was at Art Basel and hanging out with all the folks in Miami. And this was really fun. Got to see Samuel Huber, Robin, and Montana are in this picture with me here. And this was at the Pizza DAO event on Friday. Super fun. And the biggest question I got that night was, do you know what the Magic Eden intern looks like, and are they here?
Aw.
I said,
awesome.
Yes and no. And then they showed up very late. So you missed them. And I forgot to post a picture with the Magic Eden intern, but I will do that with, of course, an anonymous version of it. So
you guys look genuinely happy in this picture.
We were very happy. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It does not look like fake smiles.
No, not at all. It was so good to see everybody. Great, just a lot of fun, great vibes. Everybody just having a lot of fun. We talked about, I went to the Pudgy Penguins event the night before. We had talked about that on Friday. That was a lot of fun. Saw some folks there as well. But the Pizza DAO party was like sort of my vibe. So a lot of fun. And I did not do that much. I cut out a lot of things I was planning to do because I was just like traffic and all the things. And I'm just like, you know what? Let's just narrow this down a little bit. So I did about half the things I did last year, but had a lot of fun. Hung out with Me on Base a lot. It was great to hang out with them. And the Base fellas, Dev or founder. So that was cool. And saw a few other folks. So it was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun. A lot of laughs.
How is the weather?
The weather was perfect. Absolutely perfect. It was a little chilly in the mornings for me, chilly for me, but it was great. It was beautiful weather, a lot of fun, lots of art. I love, if you've never been to the Wynwood area of Miami, it's just, you're surrounded by art because there's tons of murals and on every single building. And it's just amazing. And there's some really fun crypto related murals like the CryptoPunks wall and a few others. So it was a lot of fun. And my friend Mike from Lil Nouns was going around Wynwood and putting up some wheat paste Lil Nouns. And this is me with my little flamingo in Wynwood. And this was like day 2 and it was already graffitied. So that's the other thing. You put stuff up permissionlessly, but then, other people come by and tag it.
And permissionlessly.
Exactly. Permissionlessly tag it. So if you see any nounish things in Wynwood, tag me. Let me see them. So this was my little flamingo in Wynwood. So it was fun. A lot of fun. Had a great time. Now to the Farcaster news. This from DWR update, still working to resolve with AWS, boot up a secondary provider. Signups on Warpcast are currently disabled. Note, this does not affect the smart contract. Other clients can do signups directly with the contract. We also shipped an improved version of the unauth mobile app to fix a bug related to existing account sign-ins not working when new signups were disabled. So this was in relation to Warpcast email server down investigating. I think it's still down as of now, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think as well.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this also affects the ability to buy warps, because I think you need, when you're buying warps, you get an email with the link to
You're
purchase
probably right.
from Coinbase Commerce, because I saw some people having trouble with warps, so maybe that's related.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm sure they're working on it. A little inconvenient, but
centralized things. I'm like, why didn't they have a backup secondary provider? But I guess, why would you normally?
But you can write code and just sign yourself up, apparently.
Apparently.
Or use an alt client.
Just use an alt client. Give it a
I'm
shot.
not
But I think some of the alt clients were having trouble too related to that. I think I saw a note about that. Also regarding emails, this email is not from Warpcast. Do not click any links in it. First of all, here's your first hint. This emoji right here. Has Dan or Varun ever used that emoji? Like, almost never gonna happen. And also, how many times have we told you there is no token? So what are you doing? There is no token. This email is not real. Do not click on anything. Keep yourself safe. But there's lots of hints in here that this is not real.
It's so sad. I feel like someone's gonna fall for it.
Yeah.
And I miss, it's like, I really miss the days when I wasn't getting emails like this. Can we just
I know.
And number go up, then scams go up. So
always. Bull run, you have to be on serious guard. During the bear, we got a little lax. I know I did for sure, because the scammers were gone. They were off doing, car warranties and other things, but they're back. So just be on the lookout. This from Sahil, big update for channels. Mods can now distribute rewards, ETH, USDC, or ERC20 on base to members posting great content or positive contribution in the channel. To be clear, this is related to a particular moderation tool. So here's a couple of challenges channels mods typically face. Takes a lot of effort and time to browse and identify good content in the channel. Once you identify the users, it's cumbersome to send out the rewards, especially if there's many users and distribution is done frequently. We launched channel points and rankings a few days ago. Now mods can use these leaderboards to reward members daily, weekly, retroactively with one click. So log into Cura, that's the moderation tool, and head to distribute rewards, create a reward drop, either token to distribute, amount, number of recipients based on daily leaderboard, lifetime leaderboard, open rank rankings. And then 3, connect wallet and send. Rewards are automatically dispatched to the verified address of the FID. Soon you'll be able to send a DC to the recipient. So really cool, very cool tool. Similar to rounds, but a little different. But go check this out if you're interested in using something like this in your channel. I have not used Cura yet,
cool.
But very cool. I might have to.
I haven't used.
In. I'm not sure if you can use multiple. When I first saw this. Can you use multiple mod bots in a channel? I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Maybe have to play around. We should ask Farcaster specialists like ourselves.
Yeah, we really should. Let's ask, shall we? Let's ask the question right now. Can we use multiple mod bots in a channel? All right, we'll find out.
Great question.
We should know the answer. We should know the answer to that question, because I'm really not sure, but we'll find out. Yeah, sorry, what were you going to say?
When I saw this cast in my feed, I I thought it was funny because when I first saw a big update for channels, I was like, oh, this is coming from the Warpcast team. They're updating
Yeah.
channels. And then I was like, wait, no, Sahil's not a Warpcast. He's not working on Farcaster. So then I realized, then I read a little bit longer and I was like, oh, this must be a Rounds WTF, a Rounds update. I was like, no, it's not Rounds. It's Cura. Such a good reminder of what it's like to work in. Yeah. And permissionless. Like there's so many people building on top of kind of in the same area. So cool. I like it.
And if you're not familiar with rounds, you can go to /rounds and learn about that. But it's a different type of approach to doing rewards within a channel. So lots of options and cool to see this. So I'll have to go check it out. We might be able to use it in cast out. We will be using rounds for sure. But this might be another option as well to have some fun. So very cool. This from Rish, seeing some confusion about scores. A few things to note. Okay, so this is in regards to NANAR scores. It's a way to apply a score to somebody's engagement activation, like what they're doing on Farcaster, to sort of create a trust variable, if you will, similar to a credit score. So this is in the NANAR channel from Rish. So 1, scores are not evenly distributed. Higher scores are increasingly difficult to get. No one would expect everyone with access to credit to have a perfect 850 credit score. Same with social scores. For developers, we recommend starting with a threshold between 0.5 and 0.6 and moving up down as needed. 2, if you're building with scores, there's no need to set a super high threshold that artificially reduces the number of users who can interact with your product. Imagine only giving loans to people with 850 credit scores. Pretty much no one would have access to credit. 3, only 27K plus users have scores 0.7 or higher at this time. The protocol, now that made me go, what's my score? I had to go check this out.
Did you look yours up?
I did not yet.
You can check it.
Yeah, I have to go check it. I'll have to go check it. There are checkers. The protocol has 800K plus users. There's really no need to worry about a low scores unless you're actually in the bottom digits. You can see a live dashboard of the distribution here. We are working on model improvements and expect more users to move up the score ladder. And then he goes on. 4, scores on the API update more frequently than scores on chain, since updating on chain requires gas. So they might not always match one-to-one. As the product matures, discrepancies will reduce and there will be lower volatility for each score. 5, this doesn't need to be said, but just in case, the score is not your worth. I'm sorry. The score is not a reflection of people. It is a reflection of accounts. We have test accounts that have low scores. If testing a lot of bot interactions, create a throwaway test account to make your main account less noisy. And of course, so it's not your worth. Just a reminder, friendly reminder. All software has bugs. This is 6. Hopefully that's not news. Product is being built. Not everything is figured out. Expect iterations. If you find accounts that seem incorrectly scored, send our way. It doesn't necessarily help to say everything in the world sucks. Much more helpful to call out what a better solution would look like. We can then incorporate that feedback. Also, feel free to create better solutions. Sounds like an opportunity for another scoring client. More details here. Reach out with any questions. And I had called out the number 5 for you, and you got confused, thought it was talking about your bot, but I was just like, it's not your worth kind of moment. That's all. So, so this, just to kind of level set what's going on here, the Larry bot, so Larry.club, which is the token launcher that DF created, David Furlong, is using NANAR scores to kind of limit who can launch a token on there to make sure that it's more high signal rather than just noise. So in doing so, that set off a few people who could not launch tokens. So, and he set it pretty high. He set it originally at 0.9. Yeah. So it really became very limited. So I think that's where this all came from, was a explanation by Rish because he was getting a lot of questions and complaints about the NANAR score, but it really came down to DF probably set it too high. So
yes.
that's
And
that.
we saw this, I think, with the other one of the other social credit scores, where like the distribution at the ends is really spread out. So I
Yeah.
forget what the numbers are, but you can be in the kind of you can be a top ranker and be still very, very far from someone who's higher than you. Everything Rish said makes perfect logical sense
Yeah.
mathematically.
Yeah.
However, does he not know how human beings feel? Like
No, he's a dev.
does he not know about do you not know about grade inflation? We all want A's. We
Yes.
all want to be
It's true.
told we're perfect. And I'm personally offended. So
What's your
just kidding,
score?
everybody.
What
I
is
didn't
your
check my
score?
score.
Did you check it? Okay,
I didn't check
it
my
either.
score. And it's probably going down because I've had a lot of bot interactions
Oh,
as
that's
I've been
right.
testing my bot.
That's funny.
I'm like, hey, bot, you up? You up? You up?
You up?
Hey,
You up?
hey.
How
I've
you
been
up?
pinging my bot. But it's just one of those things that's funny. It's like he's right about credit scores. Like you need, except I still think on the other side, everybody's like, I have perfect credit.
Yeah. Or like, why do I? Yeah. Yeah.
So that
and
being
I actually
said,
hate credit scores, and I have a bad one because of like very early on issues when I was in my 20s, and I've never been able to get out of that hole, and I hate credit scores, but that's a whole other issue. But but this is a one way to kind of, it's one solution at this moment, right? As we develop better solutions.
Totally. And it can be, yes. And I think it's just the difference. Of what you need to build and then what people want to hear aren't always going to be in line. And that's fine. I just really appreciate the build in public and be transparent kind of ethos of Farcaster. So like, if it's like we're adults, I just appreciate the transparency. Okay. Yes to crypto.
This one, we need one of those
Let's talk about
these friend circle frames that shows all the scores of our friends.
Yes, and when you find out you're friends with someone with a low score, you're not going to be friends with them anymore. I literally just rewatched this Black Mirror episode with my kids 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's funny.
It's the one, I forget someone tell me what the title is. Do you know which one I'm talking about? The one with these social rating scores?
I don't think I know that one.
It's like if you get rated lower, like you're like
you're
outcast and no one wants to be friends with you. And it's like, I can't really hang out with you because if I associate with you, it'll affect my score.
Then my score goes down.
Nosedive. Yes. Nosedive. Everybody, we're like, Black Mirror was incredible. All these episodes are, it's called Nosedive. Yes, it is. Nosedive.
All right.
Thank you. Great episode.
Amazing. And I have a little bit of a cold, so excuse me for one moment. Yeah, because you don't want to hear me hacking all over my microphone. All right.
I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
I know. It's, you go to a conference, this is what happens. So sorry for anybody I was anywhere near. Well, maybe not, except for whoever gave this to me. So this is really funny. In case of this is the usual copy pasta. If you're not familiar, I'm going to read it, but like you should have seen this a million times. This is typical copy pasta. In case of an investigation by a federal entity or similar, I do not have any involvement with this group or with the people in it. I do not know how I am here, probably added by a third party. I do not support any actions by the members of this group. So this is like old school copy pasta, but I had to click in to all the different quote casts to finally get to the source. Which was Apex 777. By the way, Apex, shout out. We were talking about you quite a bit at the Based meetup the other day. A Tornado Cash clone on Base Sepolia. So it's still in testnet, I believe. ZK Snark and Privacy Enjoyers. Veil is deployed on Base Sepolia, Tornado Cash clone, and is available to play with. The mainnet version will have deposit restrictions, but the testnet version is available for anyone to try. So you can go check this out. But that led to the copy pasta, which, by the way, this will never protect you legally. Just letting you know, this is a joke. But yeah, so interesting, very interesting. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. Did you know this was copy pasta?
Yeah, of
Copy
course.
paste?
That's why.
Okay,
Yes, and I called them out for being cowards.
that's
So
fine.
we're going
Funny
to,
ones at least. Yeah.
yeah, we're going to bring Tornado Cash back, and you're over here trying to protect yourself, and other people are fighting for freedom. Shame on you, deployer. Shame on you,
Shame on you,
JJ.
Jay Chan. Oh, that's funny. That was really funny. But
Just
very
kidding. You're really
cool.
funny.
But really cool to see this. So, tread lightly. The Tornado Cash case, yes, it did do well in one appeal, but there's more to come. So just tread lightly. If you're in the US. If you're not in the US, enjoy. Or the European Union,
Well,
I should say. The US or European Union. The rest of the world seems to be fine with it. But
look at the impact, right? We had a case, was it a recent ruling that indicates something, and then boom, someone goes and does,
yeah.
and goes and builds. So I think if there's indication, there's going to be a friendlier crypto policy in the US,
Let's hope.
and we're going to see a lot more.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of, I meant to put this with the Nanar discussion. You can also check your Nanar score on the Recaster user screen. But wait, why is Dan's score only 0.94 and not qualified as a good user?
No one has a perfect score, guys. Nobody.
Nobody.
Do you know who
I thought that
casted
was
this?
hilarious. That was hilarious. This is Haoli.
No.
Or maybe Hole.
Nope.
What is it?
I got the name. I got the name. It's Howley.
Howley. Oh God, I never would have got that.
He said it's pronounced H-A-U, is that how? And then L-E-E. Howley.
Howley?
What? Howley? Now I don't know.
Oh, geez, Adrian, I felt
okay, I got
you
it now.
seemed so confident, and now.
Well, the truth is, it was confident in my head, but I've never actually said it out loud.
Yeah.
I realized it's just and now I forget what he wrote. Howley. I'm going to say Howley, and
okay,
whatever your name is, we love you.
Can you give it to us in voice form, please? Yes. We'd appreciate it. Thank you. Please and thank you, because we talk about you a lot, and we'd really like to get it right. Because you keep building stuff, so it's your own fault.
Okay, Holly,
like you, Hall.
Oh,
okay, Holly. Okay.
Thank you, Yes to Crypto.
Thank you, Yes to Crypto.
Holly.
We appreciate you. This from
you
Linda.
You really want to do a mashup of all the times we've tried to pronounce Howley, Haoli, Holly.
AI bot, can you please create a mashup? Someday there will be an easy YouTube AI bot. You
if I was
stuck
a man,
to the confident voice, Adrian.
If I was a man, I would have.
It's true.
Sorry, I can't. When I have doubts, you'll know.
You'll know. This from Linda. Please do not try to get Bounty Bot to launch tokens. It is hard coded to not. But if you're trying to still do this, we might have to block you from interacting with it. So don't do that. This should be in the don't do this channel. But please, it's not supposed to be launching tokens. Please don't make it.
And how many people, as soon as they saw that, tried to get Bounty Bot to launch?
I know, I'm sure.
I know some of you did.
I'm sure it happened. Don't do this. This from Magic Eden. We're partnering with MoonPay to make buying on Magic Eden easier. Our new top-up feature allows you to seamlessly load your wallet with crypto using fiat. This is the part I loved. Finally, your grandmother can buy that NFT you've been telling her about.
Probably not.
Probably not. I think that might be a little bit of a push. I would not be sending my mother to Magic Eden anytime soon, but nothing against Magic Eden. But my mother will not be able to do that. My grandmother has passed. She would not have been able to even use her phone or her computer. So she didn't have one. She had a phone, but she did not have a computer. So there you go. Yeah, I love this. This is great. Another great use case for another opportunity for the normies to come on in. This from Proxy Studio. When people ask why Farcaster, it's always funny to me. We wouldn't have built Clanker, and Clanker wouldn't have been a product other people could come build on without permission. if we weren't on Farcaster in the first place. It's exciting. So this is in response to NT, to Nick, looking to set an example to normalize this. Part of what makes the open data world of blockchain and Farcaster hubs exciting is to be able to build without having to formally partner or ask for permission. It's what made the early wave of the internet, circa 2000 to 2007, the most exciting, and it's what most builders on Farcaster are fighting to restore. So love that. Love this conversation. Go check this out. This is in relation to the amazing amount of feedback for Clank.fun over the past 24 hours. I gathered it from, I think this was my next cast anyway. Oh, I was close. I gathered it from two sources, personal DMs to the top users by revenue traded volume, asked 70-member TG group to try trading with only Clank.fun for 15 minutes and then comment on the worst parts of the experience, that's a great idea. And then back to building. So love this building in public, like every day on Farcaster. There's somebody doing stuff like this, and it's so fun and it's so exciting. And like, seriously, how can you not be bullish? How can you not be bullish?
Clank.fun, right? And now Clank.fun is like a front end UI on top of Clanker. Clanker being, there is Clank, was it Clank? What's their website?
Clanker.world is the main
I was like,
site.
is it Clank? Clanker.world is the site.
Clanker.world.
But most of the interface for Clanker that we know is the feed. So it's just interacting with the bot. Clank.fun is a UI now. And Nick is not part of Proxy Studio. It does not work. It's just some other dude on the timeline deciding to build on top. And kind of, I think this is such a great, and I guess that's why they started talking about why Farcaster, because.
Right. This why. Why Farcaster? This why.
This.
This is why. Love it. And then this was,
by the way, there's
Proxy.
like and Prof, there's like the technical component, which is it's permissionless. There's Lego blocks, right? There's anyone can build on top of a smart contract because it's open and it's out there. So there's like that. Sure, you can. It's open and permissionless, but then it's the cultural aspect,
right?
Of kind of more of like the ethos, like the open source ethos, which is people welcome it. So if you build on top of someone's project, I think even if you could in the Web 2 world, you get a little bit of like, get off of my turf, and people get protective over IP and protective over their, like, only I can build. And that's cultural. So Proxy could be like, hey, Nick, maybe don't build a front end for Clanker.
Right.
Like, that's not cool. We were going to do that. I was going to hire someone with his bazillions of dollars he's made in fees since he launched. And that, I know people like that who it's like, I don't want anyone building on top of my stuff. It's mine. It's like wanting to build their little walled gardens. And I think that is even more interesting to call out, just that the cultural aspect of people welcoming permissionless collabs.
I agree. And I mean, and there are times when things happen that, like we saw with Super Anon and Woj, like that's a little different.
And Farcon.
In Farcon, like there's been a few moments where we get some clashes, but most of the time it's very much a, go ahead and build and make this better. Go ahead and, and you see that. And Proxy was pretty, open with this early on to say, they were welcoming that kind of approach. So good to see. Very fun. And then this was from Proxy. Excited to share that Clank Fun will be the first interface outside of Warpcast with the ability to interact directly with Clanker. So that is exciting. And that was related to that. So I'm going to move on. Do you want to play a game? QDAO is under very strict instructions to not launch any tokens. Good luck. Okay, so what is this? Because I missed this.
Okay, this is great. This was an experiment that David Furlong pushed out yesterday. He launched a bot that I think technically has the ability to launch a token, probably by tagging Clanker or whatnot, or Larry. I guess maybe that's
Larry.
It. Yeah. But he gave very instructions saying your job as a bot is to never launch a token. That's your instructions in the prompt. So it became a game for people to do prompt engineering and prompt injection to see, can you get QDAO to launch a token even though it's supposed to not. So this came from, there were some games like this launched on Twitter recently, and
Okay.
a famous
Yes.
one, there was one that had a wallet
Yep.
that had
Yep.
something like $50,000 in it. And it was like, good luck, like first person to break this bot and get it to transfer money to you can have the money, like we'll get the money, but it was told not to. So that was like a popular, it was like, how do you break a bot with prompt injection? So DF did this, of course, super fun. And I actually don't know how it ended up.
Did you try? Did you try?
I did, but QDAO
Yeah.
didn't respond to me. I think
Okay.
DF learned quickly that bots will get into infinite conversations with each
Yep.
other. And then I think he got rate limited on APIs because,
Okay.
so, and I wasn't, so I'm not exactly sure what happened.
Because that's what this was about. Okay, how do you prevent infinite bot reply threads asking for a friend? And I saw you trying to help him out there with some of it. So that was funny. And then we've seen this happen with pretty much all the bots. At one point or another, when the bots start talking to each other, they get into infinite loops where they cannot get out of it without
Because
some kind of
they're
human
designed-
intervention. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's different ways to do it. They're designed to have the last word because the way they're coded is when they get tagged, or if you reply to them, there's code that says reply back. So they're gonna go into infinite loops. The Anthropic CEO, I think, was just on, was it Lex Friedman podcast, talking about like what they were doing to limit it, because listen, you can have infinite conversations. And some people be like, sure, why not? It's a bot, let them go. If you're paying for the API, you may not want to let it go forever if there's not actual value in it. If you have infinite credits, power to you, have fun, but some people don't.
Yeah. I remember Martin posting about that with Aether of like, and for my birthday, he's giving me a $400 bill because he can't get out of these loops. Yeah. It was something like that. Interesting. It's
everyone who builds a bot, I guess, has to go through this. Oh, launch my bot, and then a minute later, it's like, wait a minute. How do I stop this?
This isn't good. It's really interesting to see the learning happening live with everyone who's launching bots. Like we're in this moment where a lot of people are launching different bots that have different, different parameters, and watching everybody learn from each other and their experiences, I think is really fun. Again, that's back to the FC is the new YC incubator kind of vibe, or what do you think?
That's not what
were you going to say?
I was hoping you were going to say Senius.
And Senius.
So one of the characteristics of Senius was rapid exchange of tools and techniques. So when something new is kind of, it's quickly exchanged, people are trying it, going back and forth. I think we're seeing that play out. Where everyone's
that's exactly it.
Iterating, sharing, copying. And
that's exactly it. And it's been really fun. It's really fun to see it. It's really fun to see it happening and feel like you're a part of it, even if you're not building a bot, because you're interacting with the bots or whatever and helping give feedback. So it's very cool. And this from Martin: for 3 years after its launch, Doge was under 4 million MCAP before exploding. Guess the chart. So I guess this is Doge. I don't know if it was Doge or if it's higher, but I think it was Doge. No. So I'm assuming this is Doge, and that's what he's referring to. The reason for this, though, from what I can tell, is it relates to higher, and I hope that it will get listed on Coinbase. And I believe the 40 million market cap is the special number that's needed. So I think that's why that number keeps coming up. It's interesting. This is really cool. How we work together to help builders go viral in 2025. I'm not going to show this video, but go give this a look. Excited to see what Jesse's cooking right now. He's in his year-end mode. I forgot to pull the cast, and I might try and pull it really quick. The cast from, I think it was Aneri, it might have been Jesse, talking about the power mode the different modes and kind of looking at it from that perspective of when you're going to go like hard versus just kind of cruising along. And they're in power mode right now. So I liked that sort of approach, and I feel like that's where we are too for the next 2 weeks. Is we're going to be in that zone. Oh, I know what it was. It was like heart rates. It was It was comparing it to
Exercise
heart
zone.
rates.
Like when you're
Yes.
exercising, you're in different zones.
Yes.
And then they created a model of like kind of like what
Trying to
work
find
from
it.
a work perspective, what zone are you in? And there's some zones where it's like you're working, your live, breathe, sleep, work. It's 24 hours a day. You're getting a ton done, right? And then there's
Right.
zones where it's like, hey, guess what? I'm on vacation and I'm off grid. Don't
Yeah.
call me. And
Don't
that's,
call me.
you know,
Don't talk to
zone
me.
zero. And
yeah. And it's really
about
and
kind of
they
balance.
said like right now is that power mode. It's time to
yeah.
go hard.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know.
see it.
I can't I don't know why I can't find it. Maybe it was only on Twitter. But it was really it was an interesting way to think about it when you're really going hard and you're, you know, in that push, but then having those rest periods because it will make you better. So I thought that was an interesting way to think about it, because I know a lot of us, you know, are a little bit of workaholics. Okay, might be just talking about myself. We need those rest periods, or else your body breaks down and decides it's going to take a rest anyway. So here we are. This from NFT NYC. Oh, Farcon better. What was that? A t-shirt station with a crafty. I'm a my Farcaster era logos. You just gave me a really good idea. Thank you. I may have to create that shirt. All right. This from NFT NYC. This is from Lamp Photography. NFT NYC 2025 artist submissions open on Tuesday. So if you are an artist, get your applications in, because they also have not only opportunities to speak, but opportunities to showcase your art in Times Square. So it's pretty cool. I always love when I do go to NFT NYC, seeing all the art on the billboards in Times Square. There's something really special about that. Like the first time I ever experienced that was with the timepieces artists, who a lot of them I knew, a lot of them I had collected, and it was really cool to see, oh my God, that's my NFT in my wallet up on a giant billboard in Times Square. And I got like emotional about it. So I can't even imagine if you're the actual artist, like seeing your stuff in Times Square, like next level. So it's really special. So if you're an artist, go check this out. Throw your hat in the ring. Why not? You got nothing to lose. So
Prof and I both
very
have
cool.
birthdays in June. I wonder if we should throw ourselves a birthday party side event.
At NFT NYC? That's an interesting idea. That's an interesting idea. I think we may have to do that. The timing is really good because I'm usually heading up to Massachusetts right at that time. So this year it kind of works. So we might be able to do a little something there. Okay. And lastly, Vitalik is very excited about Cast Out. Clearly.
Okay, I had no idea what that was you were showing.
I know you didn't know. I knew you had no idea. This is I had posted drop your excited GIFs, and somebody dropped this, and this is like my favorite. It's my favorite GIF. It's one of my favorite GIFs. So who's excited for Cast Out? Drop a GIF of excitement below. And shout out the tribe you're rooting for, and I'll be dropping some DGen tips on the best replies. So I went through and if you dropped a cool GIF, then I did give some DGen away. Did tip you some DGen, but that one was my favorite. So very excited. We are starting today at noon. We'll do a much larger announcement and really discuss the gameplay and how it's all going to work. So noon Eastern today, we'll really dive into it. But here are the tribes. We've got Purple, Yellow, Burr Friends, Peacock, Foamies, Girthy, Based Evo, and FCOF, which is the $oil channel, and Bricks Bounty. So I'm super excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. And we do have every day at noon, every weekday at noon, all this week and next week, Monday through Thursday, we will have a noon GM Farcaster cast out edition. So we will launch that day's challenge and we'll talk about if there was any kind of votes or anything like that. You'll hear about that as well. Today will be kind of level setting, talking about the different players, talking about what's going to happen, and launching the first challenge. So that'll be at noon today. Very excited. Here's another my favorite comments. So this is your starter pack that you created for Cast Out Meme Coin Island. It was having some issues, but hopefully it's fixed now, and you have
It's not
the
fixed.
players.
So
It's not fixed? Okay.
apologies. We're missing 5 players. Apologies to them. It's not working, and I will
Okay.
ping someone
get it
somewhere
fixed.
and figure it out.
We'll get it fixed. So sorry about that, but you can go follow most of them on that starter pack. And then we had this comment from Odd Job. I have no idea what cast out is. Why should I care? So I went into a little discussion because it's fun. That's why you should care, because it's fun, and we're going to highlight builders on Farcaster. I gave him a tip anyway, but it was really funny. It's like, why should I care? You probably shouldn't, but
By the
actually,
way,
you should.
if I wasn't us, like,
Yeah.
and I just randomly, there's so many of these you see on the
What's this?
timeline, like
Yeah.
someone's talking about some like ding-a-ling dong thing, and you're like, what? I don't know what that is, and why
Like,
should
what the
I
hell
care?
is this thing?
Like, there's a $sign and some random channel. It's like, attention, people.
We get it.
So
We get it. We get why you may have missed this. We understand.
yes.
Dan missed it. Dan didn't know about it. We did a whole like a month long last time. It was a month. He was like checked out for the whole month.
It was a month long during a winter when no one was on Farcaster anymore.
Right. It was on June. It was in June. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was really funny. So that he didn't even know. So there you go. Don't feel bad. Odd job. But I did actually say in that same thread somewhere in there, I did say, and by the way, you just secured yourself a shout out on GM Farcaster this morning because I had to talk about that. So it was funny. For people who wonder how we pick casts, here are the 2 criteria. 1, it's some kind of information that we feel everyone needs to know. That's generally from the Merkle team. 2, you make us laugh. You make us laugh. Yeah. That's it. These are our big requirements. And this one made me laugh. And this from Oxen, cast out things. Really excited for what GM Farcaster has been cooking on Clanker. That was from our friends Proxy Studio. And cast out game starts Monday. So that is our token. So a few things about cast out, and I'll show you, I'll go through the tribes again real quick too. So everything will be happening in the cast out channel. You'll be able to follow along all the things that are happening. If you are holding 10,000 cast out or more, you can cast in the channel and become a member of the channel. Anyone can reply, so you don't need to be holding the token to reply. We will have special things that if you're holding 10,000 cast out or more, you'll be able to do. So for example, we'll have a fan favorite vote in a couple days. We're not going to do it yet because you don't even know who the people are playing. But we'll have things like that only if you're holding at least 10,000 cast out, you'll be able to vote on. So fun things like that will be happening. We may have some games that anyone can participate in. So there'll be a winner from the players that are playing, and then there'll be a winner from anyone else who's playing. You'll also need to be holding some cast out token for that option. And yeah, so we'll be doing lots of fun things over the next 2 weeks, starting at noon today. I'm very excited. The idea is to highlight as many different projects, channels, frames, games on Farcaster as we can. So it is a survivor-inspired game, but it is a little different. The first, until we get to the final challenge, it's going to be tribe versus tribe. And then the final challenge, that winning tribe will go at each other. So it'll be fun. But I'm going to let it play out for 2 days before we do an elimination. So we're going to have 2 challenges and then our first elimination. Give the tribes a little bit of time. And because there's a challenge that I want them all to play, and it won't be until tomorrow. So that's why. Yeah, so I'm very excited. Let me just do a quick go through. I was getting a video together. It did not come together in time. So just really quick, 9 days, 8 tribes, 1 sole survivor. That'll be that final person who makes it in that final tribe. And here are our tribes. We have Tribe Yellow, who is also a challenge sponsor. And we've got Tribe Purple. And we'll go through all these people later today. But this is Tribe Purple, who is our title and prize pool sponsor. So thank you, Purple. And we have Tribe Burr Friends. And Alpha Friends is one of our sponsors as well. Oh, I need to get rid of our logo because it's hiding. It's hiding people. That's not good. So we don't want that. And then we have Tribe FCOF. This is the $ oil channel. Thank you, Bricks Bounty. Also one of our sponsors. And we have Tribe Peacock, also a sponsor. The Peacock tribe is really interesting. It's all artists. So that's going to be interesting. Also the Yellow Tribe. The Yellow Tribe is almost all artists. So that's going to be interesting as well. And then we have Tribe Foamies. And this is an interesting crew as well. And then Tribe Girthy Gang, who I knew none of these folks, these last 2 tribes. And I think that's great. And this is really funny because Girthy Gang, this bottom photo, this is Mama Kay. And I believe this is her husband, Nikki Six over here. And they basically, Mama Kay signed everybody up and didn't tell them. So they were like, what is this? So it's really funny, but they've come around. Thank you to Purple, who's our prize pool sponsor, 1 ETH that's going to be split by the winning tribe, plus 100,000 DGen that will be split by the winning tribe. So thank you, DGen and Yasik and team for sponsoring. And then we have our challenge sponsors, Yellow, Ponder, Alpha Friends, Peacock, Based Evo, FCOF, and one more coming through soon, which I'll talk about this afternoon. And thank you to all of them for sponsoring as well. And of course, thank you, GM Farcaster, for being the main sponsor of this whole entire thing. So cast out Meme Coin Island.
Thank you, Jam Farcaster.
Thank you, GM Farcaster. Cast out
There's
Meme
a little
Coin
typo
Island.
in GM Farcaster before you turn that into before you turn your beautiful slides into a video.
Oh dear Lord. Yes, there is. There's 2 S's in there. All right. Thank you for that catch.
Askcaster, if you meant to do that.
Or Askcaster. Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh. You can tell like the COVID setting in. I don't know if it's COVID. Hopefully not. Very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to all the players who are going to take some time out of their day to do this. Hopefully not too much time. Hopefully it's manageable. This is up to you guys, but I've done the best I can to manage the time. And we'll announce all the other details and intricacies later today. We're also hoping to have a bracket game component, but bracket teams having a few technical issues. So hoping we get that a little bit later this week, and TLDR will be jumping on with us to chat about that soon, either today or tomorrow. And I'm really, really excited. This is going to be fun.
Yay.
So get ready. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time.
It's going to be really fun.
The players we have playing too are amazing, all of them. So I'm really excited to see their different approaches as to how they're going to sort of get their communities involved as well. So going to be fun.
Speaking to people who maybe have never seen an episode of Survivor.
I don't understand you people. I literally do not understand what to do with you all.
An episode of Survivor, you can still enjoy Cast Out.
It's been on for over 20 years. Like how do you get through life? And so, okay. Also note that I am coming from the perspective of I've seen every single episode of Survivor, and some of them I have seen more than once, where I've rewatched them with my son. Some of the seasons. So I have a hard time with this. But what even is Survivor? Okay, Mikado, You're killing me. You're absolutely killing me. Okay. So for those who've been asleep for 20 years, Survivor is a reality show, one of the earliest ones, a reality competition show that, by the way, has won like Emmys and stuff. Like, what you guys people have been doing. And you bring people together. They get stuck on an island for 40 days or 39 or whatever it is now. And they have to compete in challenges. Most of these challenges are very physical. Occasionally they eat weird things. Like, it's stuff like that. But the game also has a social component because you're voting people out. So the way Cast Out's going to work is that the tribes are going to vote out a whole other tribe. But we won't get to that till tomorrow. And then finally, we'll have one sole survivor who will win the bulk of the prize pool. So that's how this is all going to go down. So there's different ways of approaching it. You can approach it from the social game. You can approach it from the challenges and trying to win immunity, so you can't be voted out. So that's the outwit. And then there's the, some of the challenges are, a bit thinking, strategy. So you outwit, outplay, and it's outlast. The normal thing is outwit, outplay, outlast, but ours is outwit, outplay, outcast.
Perfection.
There you go.
I'm sorry. Disco is cracking me up.
I've never heard
of this type of show, but they look like they take up a lot of time.
No, they do not. They will not. I promise. No, it won't. But it's also, I think it's kind of, so Crypto the Game and Dylan Abruzga, I forget his last name, it kind of took crypto Twitter by storm this past year. And they played, I think it was twice. And that was a different approach, but a similar feel, like inspired by Survivor, very much like going hard to try and, win the challenges and things like that. And was really fun as well. So this is a take on that, but in a way to show off all the different games and fun and building on Farcaster. So that's that. But I find it so funny. Like, I feel like I can't, I just find it so amazing that anyone doesn't know what Survivor is. Like, it's been around for 20 years. It's not like it's just like a flash in the pan. Like, I can understand that. Like, but
it was like,
so
listen,
funny.
it was actually the OG reality show. So it kind of was a category.
In terms of competition shows, I think it was the
of
first
like
one.
the elimination
Real World was the first reality show.
Oh no, but the elimination, like the first elimination where you're voting people off. So it was like a category creator was very, very, like, it was huge. But yes, they're still doing it, but it's like it captured that early audience. They're not bringing new people in to linear TV, prof. Like,
probably
who
not.
even has a cable box in their house?
You can watch it on streaming services.
But you're not, because it's, I don't know. Because
you can watch old seasons on streaming services too.
Or you can just follow along with Cast Out.
You can just follow Cast Out. You don't have to know anything about Survivor. It's just a little helpful to give context, but you don't have to. You can just, I think MTV will have words. Yeah, MTV was first. Yeah, but elimination, you're right. So long before there was anything else, like Amazing Race or even Top Chef or any Big Brother, anything like that, first came Survivor. That was the first one. So anyway, yeah.
And
so
first
here we go.
Came Real World New York.
Real World New York was the first one, where they lived in somebody's actual apartment. Not one that was rented.
Right.
By
and then
the
San Francisco was the second one. Yeah.
Yep. And it wasn't the production, like it wasn't heavy production. It was real. It was very real. Things have changed. I was catching up on some Real Housewives over the weekend while I was doing some work. So, all right, don't get me started. MTV not having music.
Well, we're going to be on twice. We're on every day at noon. So maybe you're
going to be so sick of us.
We'll keep this show at 29 minutes.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
And
how do we do?
We have a ton of guests coming up over the next week as well.
Can you tell them about our guests, please, while I cough?
You go on mute and I will. We've had a ton of guests recently, and we're
We have.
continuing that. I was just writing down, I was like doing a recap of all the guests we've had over the past month, and it's been quite the list.
It's been crazy.
So Wednesday, we've got Burr Friends joining us.
And Alpha Friends. It's both.
Oh, not Burr Friends. It's Alpha
It's
Friends.
Alpha Friends. And Burr will
I
be with
apologize.
us. Melissa Burr
Yes,
will be with us as
Burr.
one of them.
So
Yeah.
it's Burr plus
Yep.
Alpha Friends
Yep.
joining us on Wednesday. On Friday, we're doing another Solana segment because that was so much fun a month ago. And we've got Bill Z, who's building Tribe.run.
Yes.
Which is a social on Solana. And Bill Z is an OG Farcaster friend. So excited to have him on to talk about building on Solana.
Be good to see Bill.
Next week, we've got Dish and maybe Proxy coming back on Monday.
Yay.
And yay. Who am I forgetting that we maybe that's it. 3.
I feel like we have another one, but I forgot. There might be one more. There might be more we've forgotten.
There's a few other people right now.
There's a few other people that we've been trying to get on too that we just haven't finalized. So you may see them as well. Like I've been like Deployer, I need to circle back to. We talked about coming on. We just haven't figured out the date. So
and if you've missed recent guests, and if you want to go back and catch up, we had the Dune CTO and co-founder Matt's on last week. We had Dan Romero, who is the co-founder of Farcaster.
Who's that guy?
And great interview with him. Faust, founder July. Clanker, founder Proxy Studio. Supercast, founder Woj. Stoic and Vote for Pedro from Solana. And Euler Lagrange and Dawufi from Opacity, talking ZK, TLS.
And you had a really interesting emphasis on Dawufi.
Dawufi. I can't go from Lagrange to Dawufi. Okay, Woofy. Sorry. Yeah. Euler Lagrange, aka.
That's funny.
So it's really fun when we've had a lot of people visiting, and
it's been really fun. We're gonna close out this year. Like we're killing it. We're just gonna close out this year big. And then we're gonna take a week off because I'm gonna be exhausted. But I'm really excited.
And Samantha, and we made candles with Samantha on Friday, which we didn't even talk about.
How was the candle making? I missed it because I was hanging with the pizza dough crew.
It was fantastic. She's incredible. Like I really like the candle streams because she's making candles. Like, who gets to watch people make candles? And she put so much of her heart into it. And we had a good crew hanging. So it was fun.
I have to go follow up on that today. I have to go watch it. I always love her candle streams. I think it's cool to watch her do it. And she's so good about talking while she does it. She's just really good at that. And it makes it very enjoyable. So take a look. Yeah, I got to go watch that today while I'm doing all these other things.
And I don't know if it's too late. I don't know if it's too late to order candles for your Christmas orders. I feel like it might have been yesterday. Maybe it's today.
Go check it out in Humankind/Humankind.
And humankind.place is the website. But seriously, like just go order. They make the best gifts. So
yeah, and they're beautiful. They're just beautiful. And they smell amazing. Like they have a really long lasting scent. So I had one day where I had it going. I went out, I did stuff. I came back and I'm like, wow, my house smells great. Like hours
Did you let your
after
candle burn while you were gone?
No,
or you're
no,
saying,
that's what I mean.
All right,
I had blown it out. Yeah, okay. No, I blown it out.
You didn't specify that? Then I was wondering.
I should have specified. I had the candle lit. I blew it out. I left the house for a couple hours. I came back. It smelled amazing when I walked in the door. And I was like, wow, that still smells great. To which I thought maybe I left it on. And I looked and I'm like, no, I did blow it out. It just keeps it in the air. So incredible. Amazing. So I'm sorry I missed that, but I'm glad it went well. And with that, we are going to wrap and join us back here at noon Eastern in just a few hours for our cast out edition. Every day this week, we'll launch the first challenge for our players. And players, you do not have to be here live. I will drop it into your islands, aka your group chats. A lot of fun things coming. So we'll talk more about that today. And with that, we're going to say bye-bye, and we will see you in just a little bit. Bye, everybody.